Welcome to my NSFW podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my NSFW podcast. Today is Thursday, you guys' favorite day. Why? Because we have our book for today. Oh, baby. Excited to get into this book. I know that you guys are. Obviously, we have our thread, but I'm going to go ahead and get through some quick announcements and all that stuff. I just got word from the comments and from you lovely people that Haunting the Hunter is going to have a second book, and that's going to be coming out this year in October, toward the end of October. So that is some exciting news. I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that, yes, we will be going over that book, and I'm very excited. That was one of those books that you guys seem to really enjoy and really like, so we're definitely going to do the follow-up book to that. I'm super excited about that. And yeah, man, but without further ado, we're going to get right on into our thread. But again, if you guys have any book recommendations you guys want me to do or go over, or feature on the show, or whatever the case may be, from obviously now until that book we plan to have come out, let me know down in the comments. All right, definitely let your boy know. Okay, without further ado, let's get into our thread. Our thread for today is: what's the most awkward NSFW thing you've accidentally walked in on? Oh, baby. Okay, the funniest / most awkward thing wasn't even sexual. It was summer vacation, and I went to my friend's house to play video games. I got to his house and heard video game sounds and saw that his bedroom door was open. So I walked in and saw him sitting in his gaming chair, hyper-focused on a video game, wearing nothing but his underwear and a bicycle helmet. Wait, what?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What? Okay, I immediately asked him what he was doing, and he screamed in terror and told me to wait outside while he got dressed and hid the helmet. My confusion was matched only by his embarrassment, and he refused to speak on the subject after the fact, even years later. Okay, look, bro. I understand chilling in your underwear. That's cool, man. It's probably hot. It's probably a hot day. You're doing your thing. Whatever. That's fine. But why the bicycle helmet? What the fuck is going on that you need to wear a bicycle helmet? Why is everything so damn intense, bruh? Like, that's crazy to me, man. Oh, shit. I don't know. I don't know. All right, what is the most awkward NSFW moment that you have walked in on? When I was in high school, there was a house in my neighborhood that me and my friends were pretty much 99% sure was a porn house. We thought this because all of the furniture was white. There were no tables, no TVs, or anything else a lived-in house would have. Just white couches, chairs, and beds. Zero decor whatsoever. We didn't have any actual proof that it was for porn, just an educated guess. The house was also always unlocked, so we frequently treated it as our personal weed smoking house. One particularly hot summer night, I decided I'd walk there to smoke by myself because I didn't want to be in my mosquito-infested backyard. I go through the back fence gate and notice that the lights are on. I'm thinking maybe some of my friends are in there, so I walk up to the window wanting to freak them out. Instead, I got to see what the production of porno looks like. Didn't get noticed, luckily, so I promptly exited the premises. As I left, I went around to the front. We usually went in through the back, which was connected to an alley, which is why I didn't notice the van and like 6 cars parked out front. There was a dude smoking a cigarette. You one of the kids that's been smoking weed in there? Yeah, I'm sorry. I won't come back. It's fine. Y'all shouldn't sit on the furniture, though. Facts! The facts. The furniture is white for a reason, bruh. Friends and I still smoke there like once a week, and I never crossed paths with the porno people again. Definitely didn't sit on the furniture. About a year after that happened, the house ended up being sold to a family, so we lost our super cool smoking porn clubhouse. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have tried to been like, no, I'm not one of those kids that smokes in there. I'm actually like the new guy. They told me to come here and start my first shoot. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. You know what I mean? They just sent me down here. Who sent you down here? I don't know, bro. I didn't get his name. I don't know what's up. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would have tried to squeeze my way in there. Like, why not? Why not? There's no harm, no foul. Like, the greatest thing that would happen is you got to participate. Then the worst thing that happened is they turn you down and you walk away. I would have been like, yeah, I'm the new guy. Like, what's up? They would have probably called and be like, hey, is there a new guy? Is there a new guy, here? And they're just like, yeah, no. There shouldn't be any new guy. Like, oh, they said there's no new guy. Well, then what am I doing here, man? Like, bro, call him again. I'm telling you, I would have tried my damnedest. To get in that room, bro. Oh, man, I would try my hardest to get in that room. Man, all right. What is the most NSFW thing, or the most awkward NSFW thing that you have walked in on? One time in college, I was stuck in a top floor dorm room with no AC, and it was hot as balls, and I couldn't sleep. I went out for a stroll along the campus and walked out into an old unused soccer field. As I wandered further into the field, I heard the distinct and distant sounds of moaning and some other chatter. I saw shadows in the middle of the field, and so I crouched down to try and backlight the silhouettes. With the street lights in the distance. I saw a female figure riding someone laying on the ground, and like 5 other figures standing around them in a circle. Then I saw the gal stand up. Dude on the ground got up, and the next guy in the circle laid down, and the girl got on top of him. Someone in the group noticed me, and I saw them all look my direction, and I just turned around and went back to my hot ass dorm room. Bro, what the fuck? Some girls be getting down like that in college, bro? Sheesh, man. God damn. I don't know how people find like gangbangs attractive or hot or whatever. Like, I as the dude, maybe as the girl, sure, yeah, but as a dude, I would not be able to be in a room with other dudes or be in a situation with other dudes wangs out, and my wang is out. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I wouldn't be able to keep my shit long and strong. I would not. I'd be sitting there just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, focus on the girl, just focus on the girl. But I couldn't. I could not, especially if I was the dude laying down. If you're the dude laying down, bro, you're trying to focus on her, but that peripheral of penises is crazy. like, bro, it's undeniable. The peripheral penises would be crazy. It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? I teach its own, I guess. That's some crazy shit, though, that, girls be getting down like that in college, son. But honestly, though, after everything that, if you guys have been watching the Sunday episodes and stuff like that, you probably won't be too surprised. You know what I mean? A lot of the things that we go over on the Sunday episode, and hell, even in the scenarios in the Tuesday episode, it's just like, yeah, girls be doing some crazy shit nowadays, man. I'm sure you guys have even seen it yourself. Just scrolling TikTok or Instagram. All right, what is the most NSFW thing, or most awkward NSFW thing that you have walked in on? I worked at a place where long hours were the norm, especially on a specific day of the week, because there was a public meeting at 7 p.m. and it made no sense to go home and then come right back to the office. So the senior staff would stay and do work in their offices until the meeting took place. I was a COO at the time. I ended up with a legal question, so I walked down the hall to the office of the general counsel knowing she would be there. Her office door was slightly open, and as I peeked in, she was bent over a conference table, skirt hiked up, husband behind her. Thank God it was her husband, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought it was somebody else. Woo! With a syringe, I made some sort of whoa and grunt and sped back to my office. Wait. A syringe? Okay. General counsel came by my office a few minutes later and said, well, that was awkward, and I fully agreed. She told me she and her husband were doing fertility treatments.
Why the fuck you lying?
I don't know about that. And she needed shots at a specific time, and she just couldn't give herself shots. So husband comes to the office to do them. We had a very good relationship, so I never told anyone about the anonymizing however that word is, and anonymizing the story. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I don't think that that's what that was. I really don't. It could be, but I mean, I don't think, like, first off, obviously everybody thought the same thing that I thought. Don't think that you didn't, you know what I mean? Our minds are all in the gutter, okay? You're watching this episode because your mind is in the gutter. Stop it, okay? We're all in the gutter. We're chilling in that bitch like it's a nasty ass hot tub, okay? Sorry if you're eating. That was a horrible picture. But I mean, because you got to realize, man, hey, some couples get down, you know, with some drugs, and they like to, you know, do their thing. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna inject you right now, and then it'll hit in like an hour or two, and by the time we get together, you know, it'll be euphoric. You never know, bruh. You never know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have asked her what was in. I guess he did, and she said it was the fertility stuff. But okay, I don't know. I still am under the umbrella. It was something else. I really do. I do. I hope it was. Hope it was some fertility stuff, and that, you know, just is what it is. But I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I would have been like, yeah, nah, some shit was going down in there. Some shit was going down. All right. What's the most awkward NSFW thing that you have walked in on? Was looking for my phone one day and figured I left it in the spare bedroom. We had been painting with friends. Well, I walked in the room and said friends were going at it. They both looked at me like they were in big trouble, and I asked, is my phone in here? They said no, and I said, okay, sorry, and left. Well, I mean, you know, some friends ain't really all friends, you know? You know, some friends ain't really all friends. It's like there's friends within friends that are friends with benefits. I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember in our friend group, you know, we were all hanging out. Everything was good, hunky-dory. I think the last thing we we went to like bowling or something. We were all hanging out, whatnot. And then the next time we hang out, all of a sudden we find out that one of our friends, she's dating another one of our friends that got like recently introduced into the friend group. And we're like, what the fuck? Y'all been doing the thing for how long? And they're like, oh yeah, we've been doing it for like 6-8 months. I'm like, what? When were you gonna tell us? You know what I mean? It'd be like that. It definitely be like that. My own friend group is definitely like that. I've seen shit like that go down, and it trips you out. It really does, because you're just like, wow, I would have never guessed. You know what I mean? You just never know until you catch them in the act, or they finally say something. Because we were just like, what the fuck? And we had a vibe. You know, it was one of those things where we kind of had a vibe. We kind of assumed maybe there was something like that going on, but we just didn't know for sure. And then when we found out for sure, we're like, oh, okay, all right. You know, that makes a little sense. But why didn't you say nothing, you know? But yeah. Hey, facts. All right, what is the most awkward NSFW thing that you have walked in on? Many years ago, I visited my friend's apartment. When I entered the hallway, there was a middle-aged businesswoman in full suit with a portfolio taking a shit on the floor. Huh? Okay. He was extremely embarrassed, I could tell, and I just passed him without saying anything. Once I came to my friend's apartment door, I told him. He got mad and rushed down only to find nothing. The man had cleaned up after himself, and there was no trace of that happening. So he shit on the floor, picked up his dookie, and left? What? This man popped a squat, squeezed the log out, picked that motherfucker up, and left. That's crazy. I'm surprised I'm surprised there wasn't like piss all over the floor. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm one of those, like, when I take a dump, you know, some pee comes out. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty normal. It's pretty natural. I know. So that's what I'm saying. He didn't see some piss on the ground, you know? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was one of those, like, the dookie was right at the front door. Yeah, like it was touching cotton. So, you know, he just was like, I just got to squeeze this off real quick. I got to squeeze it out. I'll pinch off the rest and we'll round two when I get home. You know, have you guys ever had one of those moments where, like, you're at work and you're like, oh shit, oh fuck, but it's time to go home. You know what I mean? And you're just like, fuck, I already clocked out. Shit, all right, I'm gonna just, you know, get a quick one out, and then, you know, I'll pinch off the rest, and we'll go round two at home. Maybe just me, I don't know, because I'm the type of person I don't really like shitting in public restrooms. That shit's nasty to me. I just can't do it. And so, you know, a lot of times I'm just like, all right, if I'm on the clock though, I'm gonna take my time. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm on the clock, I'm gonna take my sweet time. You know. Yeah, I'm getting paid to shit. What are we talking about here? But if I'm not on the clock, I look at it like, I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. I'm not being paid anymore to be here. So I'm, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just get the front door dookie out, and then, you know, we'll round two at home. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that. Let me know down in the comments. But that's crazy though. All right, we'll do two more, and then we'll get right on into our book. So, what is the most awkward NSFW moment that you have walked in on? I bonked my head diving into a pool on vacation as a kid and ran up to our hotel room to my parents. They didn't answer after I knocked a couple times, so I looked in the window and, well, it was missionary. Ah, damn. Yeah. Oh, shit. I understand it. You know what I mean? Parents, they gotta find that time anytime they can. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I always say it's always good to, like, get a little change of scenery. You know what I mean? Get you a little hotel room. You know, take the sex out of your bedroom. I guarantee you that's what they were doing. They probably watched an episode and was just like, yeah, let's do that. I don't know, but but yeah. I thank God I had never walked in on my parents doing that. Thank God. I was one of the lucky ones, man. I was one of the lucky ones where I never walked in on that shit. Like, oh, thank baby Jesus. Because I had always heard stories, always heard my friends, you know, talk about it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, thank God I don't have that core memory. You know, that sucks for you guys, bruh. Because that is a core memory you never let go. And it's just, that is trauma that'll stay with you forever. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, man. All right. This will be our last one. What is the most awkward NSFW thing that you walked in on? During college, I lived across the hall from my girlfriend in an apartment complex. She posted a note on her door that said, "Come in, you know where to find me." I entered the apartment and went straight to the bedroom. Upon entering, I witnessed her having sex with her cousin. She swore they were only friends, but very close. No, this was not in the South. It was Michigan, bro. See, this is... Oh, man. She used the cousin line. Yeah, so it made him feel like... Because what it was is she said he was a cousin, but in reality, he was a friend, but he was a sexual friend. You know what I mean? That's what it really was. But in order for her to be able to keep her guy friend and have her boyfriend, she was just like, oh, this is my cousin. Damn, bro. That's tough. I could not walk in on somebody, especially if you think that that's, you know, their cousin, their family. You know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck, bitch? I trusted you. I fucking trusted you. I trusted you. Like, what the fuck, man? You told me that was your cousin. Oh, see, and this is why for me, I'm like, dude, she can't be around any guy. Fuck it. She can't even be around cousins. Fuck that shit. Nope. Like, god damn, man. Like, you can't trust nobody, dude. You can't trust nobody. That fucking sucks, dude. Hey, man. it be what it go be sometimes, you know what I mean? But you guys let me know down in the comments what you thought of the thread, as well as if you've ever walked in on an NSFW moment and it scarred you, you know, it was a core memory, something crazy. Let me know down in the comments. All right. We're going to hop to announcements and get right on into our book. So patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast, get an exclusive episode every single Friday, every single month, not every single Friday anymore, every single month, as well as a free episode every single month. Start your 7-day free trial, as well as, or start your 7-day free trial, and then after that is $3 a month. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all of the support. You guys have been absolutely killing it, and I appreciate that so very much. I will make sure that I keep the Sweet Venom playlist on Spotify for you guys up to date. I know sometimes I'm usually lagging on that, but you guys are pretty good at keeping up with every Thursday episode, so I usually don't have to do that. But it's usually for just, you know, the new people that come in and, you know, they hang out. But if you are ever waiting for an episode to come out, I always do upload the audio versions on YouTube, okay? So that is an option. You can always listen to the audio versions on YouTube. There's audio and video on YouTube. I make sure to, you know, give you guys both. But I know some people love the ease of Spotify, so I do understand that, and I will try to keep up with keeping the Sweet Venom playlist up to date for you guys. All right. And if you want to help out even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. That helps out tremendously, and it's all free. Follow us on Instagram, because every Sunday we're going to be going live on Instagram. We'll be showing the Sunday episode an entire week earlier. So if you guys want to see the Sunday episode an entire week earlier and you want to see it live with your boys, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. And then on Sunday, keep a lookout for us going live. Come on in, say what's up, give your 2 cents on the videos we're going over or whatever it is we're talking about at the time. And yeah, man, you know, I want to go ahead and, you know, interact with you guys more and make the shows more interactive and all that good stuff for you guys. So definitely do that. If you're already following us on Instagram, just look out for us on Sunday. I will be going live probably around noon to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. So I love and appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. And without further ado, we're going to get right on into our book for you lovely people. All right. So let me move you guys on over and we can start right now.
7. Violet. A crushing weight smothers me, pulling me down so viciously I gasp, my eyes flying open. At first, I think it's sleep paralysis, that sickening awareness where my mind is awake but my body refuses to move. But it's worse than that. A woman sits perched on my ribs like a demon, her seemingly skinny frame impossibly heavy, suffocating the breaths from my lungs. Her once soft and beautiful face is now a grotesque mockery of what I remember. Sunken cheekbones, eyes stretched wide, pupils swallowing the amber, lips curled into something between a grin and a snarl. Our hair is the same color, but hers is longer, reaching her lower back in silky strands. Mama, you bitch. The bite in her cold, venomous voice slithers over my skin, seeping into me, crawling under my ribs and settling in my bones. Like it belongs there. Like it never left. I try to move, to shift, but my limbs don't obey me, remaining as rigid and motionless as cement. Despite the numbness, I want to reach a hand out and touch her, beg for her forgiveness, ask, "Why can't you love me, Mama?" That's what other mothers did. They loved their kids and spoiled them. I was fine with not being spoiled, but I desperately tried to make her like me. Since we moved all the time, I had no friends, and she was my only source of affection. Affection she never gave me. Right now, her fingers dig into my shoulders, nails as sharp as claws. Useless. She lifts her hand and slaps me, the sting reverberating in my cheek. Your face is fucking disturbing. You're the mistake of my life and the weight around my neck, Violet. A thing that shouldn't have been born. I shake my head, a small, weak motion. The only rebellion I can manage, or could have ever managed. I want to speak, but my lips remain sealed shut, as if stitched together with an invisible thread. I can't breathe. I can't fight. I can only listen as she spits her rancid words into my ears, the stench of something decaying curling around my face. You killed me, you worthless piece of shit. Her hands tighten, her nails biting deeper, slicing through the fabric of reality into my skin, cutting open the fragile pieces of myself that I try to keep together. I didn't, I want to say. I didn't do it, Mama. But there are no words in my throat. No sound except the way my pulse pounds and pounds and pounds against my skull. She leans in, close enough that her lips brush my ear, her breath thick and rotting. You're a terminal disease who will kill anyone stupid enough to love you. Starting with Dahlia. The weight intensifies. My ribs groan under the pressure, my heart a frantic animal trapped in a cage that's too small. I scream, and suddenly, I'm falling. The world shatters, and my shout reverberates in the small closet she shoves me into. I jolt up, gasping, drenched in sweat, my pulse hammering against my ribs like it's trying to escape me. Faint light greets me, and I release a breath. It's not the closet. I'm not in the closet. The air is still thick as my breaths come in ragged pulls. My unsteady fingers dig into the sheets, searching for something real, something that isn't her. But her voice lingers, coiled in my head like smoke, and I press my hands to my ears as if that will dilute the words I can still hear. I know Mama's dead, but in reality, she never really is. She lives on in my nightmares, always reminding me how useless I am, how I can never be more. My feet tangle in the sheets, and I fall on my knees on the hardwood floor, groaning. But I jerk up and run to Dahlia's room. My breathing slowly eases when I see her sleeping peacefully in bed. I walk on my tiptoes and pull up the sheet that's fallen off, then quietly close the door, leaning my back against it. My fingers still shaking, I slide down to the floor, burying my face in my hands. It's times like these when I just want to end it, once and for all. Just stop everything. The nightmares, the dark closet, Mama's cruel words, my silly yearning for love and affection that I never received, except from Dahlia. She's always loved me unconditionally. She lost her parents to an accident and, like me, was pinballed in the foster care system. Unlike me, however, she has no silly notions of hopeless romanticism or an unattainable need for affection, or any late-night secret meetings with death, toying with the idea of it as a coping mechanism. But now, I'm putting the only person who ever cared about me in jeopardy, because he is still there, death. And I know if I continued to toy with the idea, Jude would use her to put me back in my place. I stand on unsteady legs and walk to the living room window. Tremors still plague my hands as I pull back the muslin curtain slightly, squinting at one of the few working lampposts, its glare assaulting me. It's 4 a.m, so he should be gone by now. But he's not. Across the street, I spot a parked black car. I can't see who's inside, but I know it's not empty. Over the past 2 weeks, ever since Jude declared that my life was his, I haven't seen him around, but I felt him everywhere. At first, it was a feeling of being shadowed. At work, in the neighborhood, but also during my college summer classes. You'd think he'd have summer training or something better to do with his time. But then I realized he wasn't doing the stalking himself. About a week ago, I spotted a tall, buff guy near my place, a pseudo-stalker of sorts. That guy comes into Haven every day and walks me home. I mean, not walk me, but sort of walks a safe distance behind me. The other day, he punched a drunk guy who tried to come close to me. His name is Mario, which I only know because Laura has been talking and flirting with him. She thinks he's become a regular because of her, and I don't want to shatter her illusions. Still, even though the whole thing has made me deeply uncomfortable, I'm glad I haven't had to see Jude. That man terrifies me. Not only because of his vendetta or his ability to beat people to a pulp without blinking, or his violent streak on the ice I keep hearing about, but something far more distressing. He has a curious ability to see through the chunks of my soul that I thought I'd expertly wrapped up. And last night, he did something that probably contributed to the nightmare. He got into the apartment. I know because of the last entry in my journal, where I mentioned that maybe I could convince Dahlia to move away from here, or even possibly leave on my own, since I don't have the heart to make her lose the scholarship she worked her ass off for. Unlike her, I don't care much about mine and would consider dropping out of college altogether and continuing to work part-time and take odd jobs here and there. Last night, after Dahlia and I binged some Netflix and she went to sleep, I opened my journal to write an entry. That's when I saw it. A sticky note with neat print handwriting. Abandon any useless thoughts about escaping me. Don't act stupid and force me to show you what I'm truly capable of. My body trembled so hard upon seeing that. He came into my home. Was it the first time? Or maybe the first time he's made himself noticeable? But why now of all times? His unpredictable actions are messing with my head so badly. I looked around the apartment, searching for his ghost, terrified that Dahlia would see anything amiss, or worse, get involved. Because Jude is right. I have no clue what rich, privileged, and violent people like him are truly capable of. And I don't want to find out. Later that night, I'm back at work after spending the afternoon embroidering one of Dahlia's shirts while listening to an audiobook.
The usual.
Mario's gruff words reach me from the other side of the counter. Laura rushes to serve him his Guinness, grinning while he talks steadily. He's older than me by a few years, maybe late 20s. I think I need to warn Laura about him, but when I alluded to the fact that he might be untrustworthy the other day, she gave me a weird look. So I keep those thoughts to myself. The bar hums with low chatter, the thunk of glass against wood, the distant echo of laughter swallowed up by the bass-heavy music filtering through the speakers. The usual crowd is gathered under the neon haze of Haven, like sinners seeking temporary absolution. I work on autopilot, pouring drinks, wiping spills, and nodding along to slurred conversations that don't require real listening. But then, something shifts. My skin prickles as if the air has been punctured, the oxygen thickening and darkening in increments. I don't see him at first. I feel him. Like a storm pressing in before the first crack of lightning. Jude strides in, dressed in black, built like a wall. No, a warning. A threat. The low amber glow from the bar lights drags over him, sharpening every edge, casting shadows where shadows shouldn't be. His black t-shirt stretches across his torso, and my eyes widen upon seeing what's on his half-exposed arms. Full sleeves of unintelligible ink. They stand out like marks of war, like a language only monsters speak. He moves like he owns the place, like he owns everything. And I hate that my pulse stutters at the sight of him, that my entire body tenses and my senses go on high alert. I grip the bar towel tighter, pressing my fingers into the damp fabric, forcing myself to breathe. Because he shouldn't be here. He never comes inside. He's only ever been outside, lurking like something too big, too sharp, too dangerous to step into the light. But he's here now, like he was in my home last night. Why? He sits beside Mario, but his presence carries a different kind of weight. Where Mario blends into the background, Jude shifts the entire atmosphere. His arms rest on the bar, muscles coiled under the sleeves of black ink. Serpentine scales wrap around his forearm, climbing, coiling, each ridge and curve etched with such precise detail that I can almost feel the rough texture beneath my fingers. A skull is inked on his wrist, cracked and hollow-eyed, as if it's seen too much and survived anyway. Thorn-covered vines twist through the gaps, weaving between bone and shadow, like something alive waiting to bite. Jude doesn't glance at me, not at first. He just taps his fingers against the counter in a slow, deliberate motion. Then he speaks in a voice that snakes down my spine and settles in places it shouldn't.
Double bourbon, no ice.
His detached, dissecting gaze lifts toward me, and it's as if he's seeing straight through me, peeling me apart layer by layer. I hate that Jude makes me feel this way. I'm fully clothed, but I feel stark naked around him. I swallow hard, my fingers twitching as I grab the glass. There's no reason for my throat to feel dry or for my pulse to thud unevenly. No reason at all. After I pour his drink, my hand steadier than I feel, I slide it toward him. His fingers brush against mine when he reaches for the glass. And for a moment, our eyes meet, mine frantic, his intense and unforgiving, like the grim reaper I used to fantasize about. A spark of something dark and ancient courses through me at the feel of his long, rough fingers, and I jerk mine away, feeling heat creeping up my neck. His eyes narrow slightly, but I'm already rushing to another customer at the other end of the bar. Even though I spend the rest of my shift trying to ignore him, I can feel him. His eyes, his attention, his sheer presence. It's suffocating. I'm teetering on the edge of a breakdown, trying to think about what the hell he plans to do next. I've been jittery for weeks, and I don't think I can survive this for long. Shaking my head, I choose to focus on work. The tray wobbles in my hand as I move through the crowded back tables, balancing drinks with practiced ease, my mind staying 3 steps ahead. That's when a sharp slap cracks against my ass. I freeze. The tray tilts dangerously, liquid sloshing over my fingers. A sharp inhale burns my throat, but I swallow the yelp down, choke on it, and bury it where all the other moments like this go. This isn't the first time. It won't be the last. The cold, familiar feeling of disgust slithers through me, but I force a tight-lipped smile and step back before he can trap me. It happens so fast. 1 second, I'm pulling away. The next, a rough shove knocks me backward, and my balance falters as the tray tilts from my grip. The world lurches. The crash of breaking glass shatters the air. Beer spills in sticky ribbons over my hands, soaking into my skin before the sharp scent of alcohol hits me. But that's not why my breath locks in my throat. That's not why the whole bar falls silent for half a beat. It's him. Jude is no longer sitting at the bar. He's now lifting the bald, heavy-set man who just spanked me by the collar, then punches him in the face. The impact is sickening. A crack, a gurgled gasp, a splatter of red. The man barely has time to react before Jude throws him onto the table. The wood splinters under his weight, shattering into two uneven halves. His friends stumble to their feet, wide-eyed, like they don't know if they should fight or flee. They should probably run, because there's no stopping him. Jude moves like a force of nature, not a man, not even a monster. Just a raw, uncontrollable force. He punches and punches and punches. Like the first time we met, when he brutalized Dave until there was nothing left but blood and bone. The look in his eye now is the same as then. Blind rage. No limits, no conscience. Mario blocks the other men, shoving them back like they're nothing, ensuring Jude's violent spree is left undisturbed. I should leave. I should run. Escape to the staff room, hide my face, pretend this never happened. That's what I always do. But for some stupid, reckless reason, I push through the chaos, through the people shouting, through the beer mugs pounding against wood as the crowd chants, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" And then I do something I shouldn't. I touch him. A tentative hand on his inked arm. His muscles bunch beneath my fingers as tight as steel cords. He's still clutching the semi-conscious man by the collar, his knuckles dripping red, but at my touch, he swings around, his fist raised. My breath catches, and I flinch back, my hand burning where it touched him, as if his rage is contagious. His pupils are blown wide, drowning the color in his irises in two pools of darkness. Violence, rage. It's always as if he's standing on the edge of something inhuman. But then, for a moment, as his gaze locks onto mine, recognition flickers, and his fist hangs in midair. Please stop. My voice is quieter than the storm around us, but he hears it. Because his gaze drags down to my mouth, like he can read the words off my lips, which twitch uncontrollably, crumbling under his attention. The way he looks at me with that quiet intensity ignites a disturbing feeling inside me, a deep discomfort laced with an invisible thread I can't quite cut. The fight drains out of him. Or maybe he just decides the man isn't worth any more effort. Because Jude lets security take the bald guy from his grip. Then, in a single, casual motion, he pulls a stack of cash from his jeans and tosses it at the manager.
For the damage.
And just like that, he turns and leaves. Mario follows without a word. I release a shaky breath, gripping the tattoo on my wrist as my knees threaten to buckle. By the time my shift ends, I feel like I've been washed, wrung out, and hung to dry. Every inch of me aches. My back, my feet, my skull. All I want to do is snuggle into my couch and fall asleep listening to an audiobook. My backpack slung over my sore shoulder, I walk out of Haven, massaging it, already dreaming of patches, heat packs, and the blessed oblivion of sleep. My eyes widen, and my fist that I'm using to rub my shoulder is frozen. Because Jude didn't leave. He's still here. Dressed in black from head to toe, he's leaning against his bike, his legs crossed at the ankles. His leather jacket and gloves radiate quiet menace as he toys with his helmet with controlled movements. The street lamp overhead flickers, its light flashing over the shadowed cut of his jaw and lips that are always set in a line. I wonder if he ever smiles. No. I really shouldn't care whether or not my stalker smiles. I lower my head, quickening my pace in the opposite direction. In a fraction of a second, a large shadow steps in front of me. My stomach drops as heavy boots and dark jeans come into my vision.
You're coming with me.
My fingers twitch against my wrist, tracing my tattoo out of instinct. Why?
I'm over here.
His voice is low, steady, and completely void of patience.
Look at me when you talk to me.
I lift my head, my pulse hammering. I'd rather not go anywhere with you.
Your preferences don't matter.
Before I can react, he slams the helmet onto my head.
Hop on the bike, Violet. We have a long night ahead of us.
8. Violet.
Don't make me repeat myself.
The gruff edge of Jude's voice makes needle-like goosebumps erupt on my skin. The heavy helmet on my head smells like him, leather, wood, and inescapable danger. It's suffocating, but I still look around, searching for someone. Anyone who'd be able to save me.
Violet.
I grow still, my gaze flashing to him. He's already on the monster of a bike, his legs on either side and his gloved hands grabbing the handlebars. He has another helmet on, so I can't see his face, but with the slight tilt of his head, I can tell he's regarding me as if I'm an annoying insect beneath his boot. Even though my heart hammers loudly, I lift my head. I don't want to.
Do you believe I give a fuck what you want?
No, but...
If you don't get on the bike, I'll change plans, drive to your place, and give your sister a little visit. Let's see if you'll regret your choices by then.
My body tightens up. The nightmare from last night and Mama's words about killing whoever loves me playing in my head on a loop. Don't you dare, I whisper yell, my hands balling into fists. He tilts his head to the side farther, his domineering gaze sliding to my hands before he wrenches his attention back to my face.
Was that a threat? You're capable of those?
Don't go anywhere near Dahlia.
That depends on your cooperation, or lack thereof.
I let my fists relax and begrudgingly hop onto the bike. It takes me a few moments to get situated behind him. I grab onto the back of the motorcycle with both hands as it revs beneath me, vibrating through my aching muscles. I'm conscious not to get too close or to touch him. Only bad things happen whenever we touch. Where are we going? No reply. Instead, he kicks the bike into gear, then stops, and I slam against his back, my hands grabbing onto both sides of his leather jacket at his waist for balance. I'm about to pull back again, but he speeds away, the force of gravity not allowing me to move unless I'm in the mood to fall over. My heartbeat escalates in frightening increments as he increases the speed until everything is a blur of light, faces, and the rotten town. I lift my head, and when the air slaps me from every side, I can breathe in the sharp tang. I sink my fingers deeper into his sides until I feel every ridge of his muscles, every contour, and every strong line. The man is built like a weapon, and he knows it. Can you please slow down? I try to shout over the wind.
Why? Does this scare you?
He goes faster, sliding between cars, and I slam my eyes shut as gravity shoves my head against his back muscles. Even though the helmet separates us, I can feel how taut and rigid he's built. Everything about him is. And yet, I can still feel his warmth and inhale the masculine scent emanating off of him and flooding my senses.
Don't be scared yet. There'll be plenty of chances for that.
He goes even faster, as if testing those limits, seeing how far I can last before I fall. I close my eyes half of the time, scared we'll crash or that he'll send us flying off a hill. In my doomsday thoughts, I don't feel when we leave Stantonville and only realize we're in Greystone Ridge after seeing the sign between the Grand Angels and Horses monument in the town center. I'm dazzled by the lights, the chic restaurants, and the absolute absence of, well, the constant rotten smell lathering Stantonville's streets. The cobbled pavements and the bright signs give me a fuzzy feeling, like the start of a fairy tale or a distant fantasy. Dahlia has always said we should come here for our movie and dinner nights, but I shut it down. Not only because it's expensive, but I also don't like seeing a world I can never belong to. Like a dream that will never come true. I'd rather stay exactly where I belong, in Stantonville. We leave the town center behind too soon as Jude takes a few turns. He stops in the driveway of a house on a suburban street. It's located on the hill, the highest of all the other streets. My lips part upon seeing the rest of the town from up here, its glinting lights mesmerizing like a movie scene. The air smells of pine and nature, courtesy of the tall trees lining the neighborhood.
Are you going to continue hugging me for long?
I startle at Jude's gruff voice, letting him go and hopping off the bike. I was only trying to stay alive. You drive like a madman. My feet actually wobble when they touch the ground, probably from having my body fully pumped with adrenaline during that wild ride.
A madman, huh?
He towers over me, peering down at me with menace. I lower my eyes and start to remove the helmet. I didn't mean to call you names.
You did.
His glove brushes against my hand as he pushes it away when he sees me struggling, and he removes the helmet and places it on the motorcycle. Then his hand slides to the back of my neck, and the leather glove feels like burning fire, even though he's not touching me directly. I shouldn't have this reaction to his skin on mine, or his glove. I shouldn't have this reaction to anyone touching me. He bunches his fingers in my hair and drags my head back, and then his lips brush against mine. The slightest graze, like a promise or a threat. His lips are softer than they look, and they feel so full and all-consuming, imploring, dizzying. And I'm frozen again, my mouth trembling beneath his, and I'm consumed by the sensation, the pull, the heat. I've had full-blown sex that didn't feel as intoxicating as his lips barely touching mine. No. I snap out of it and pull back, sliding a palm over my tingling lips. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Look away from me again, and I'll kiss you. And it'll escalate to something worse the more you indulge in that distasteful habit.
You wouldn't.
Try me and see how far I'll go.
You've lost your mind. I drop my hand, and his rich brown eyes slide to my lips, darkening, peeling off my outer layer and settling beneath my clothes, my skin, into my bones. He's dangerous. Because why am I reacting to him this way? I've never been into physical touch or sex. Hell, I've avoided it like the plague and only succumbed to peer pressure in college because, apparently, if you keep your virginity after 18, society deems you a weirdo, and your classmates give you pitying looks. The few times I let some frat boys fuck me were a disappointment. No, I actually disliked it. Being exposed, touched intimately, and feeling ugly throughout it all. I had body dysmorphia, no matter how much they praised me and told me I feel so tight. It didn't help that I had flashbacks of the noises I heard when Mama was being fucked while I was cooped up in the closet. Whenever I heard the guys breathing heavily on top of me or growling and moaning, I only had flashbacks of the men in Mama's life. I even slammed both hands to my ears during the last time I had sex because I could hear the one man who loved punching my Mama and leaving her bleeding after he was done. Because the guy I was having sex with smelled like him. Cheap cologne and strong cigarettes. I even started humming like I did back then while doodling sketches in my notebook in the near darkness to drown out the sounds. Needless to say, the guy called me a weirdo for ruining the mood and left as if his ass were on fire. I just lay in bed, stared at the ceiling, and laughed. but then started crying because that's what Mama did after they left. Then I threw up. I usually do after sex, and since I barely find pleasure in it, I stopped it altogether after the weirdo episode, choosing not to poke a bear I didn't need to. So, as a certified sex avoider, why the hell did my stalker's lips just now make me feel like that? I don't know what that was, but it was different from my usual disgust, and I definitely have no bile gathering in my throat.
Follow me.
Jude's words snap me out of my thoughts, and I have no choice but to trudge behind him and toward the house. He doesn't have to say the "or else" for me to understand that my actions will determine Dahlia's fate. While I have little to no regard for my own life, Dahlia is the only person who's ever cared about me, loved me, and made me feel like I'm important. I'd never let Jude or anyone else hurt her, ever, no matter what I have to go through. I follow him into the house, my steps careful, and I slide my glasses up my nose. The air is laced with something clean and expensive, a faint trace of musk and cologne clinging to the walls. The entrance spills into an open floor plan, warm lighting cascading over polished wood floors, leading to an off-white staircase that disappears into darkness. It's beautiful, but odd. This isn't the kind of mansion or penthouse I imagined someone like Jude would live in. 2 stories, sleek and modern, like something out of a magazine. Muted grays and blacks, soft ambient lighting that doesn't feel harsh, and furniture that looks like it belongs in a high-end showroom. And yet, as I glance around, my chest squeezes with unease. Something feels off. The house is too sterile and perfect, like no one really lives here. Like it was put together with intention, but has never actually been touched. My footsteps are too loud as I trail behind Jude, gripping the straps of my backpack tighter. The thick silence presses against my ribs with each breath. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but Jude has a way of integrating silence and using it to make me uncomfortable. It doesn't help that the house feels wrong. There's no lingering scent of home-cooked meals or any worn-in furniture, just nothing. We walk toward the living room, and I take it in. A charcoal-colored sofa, a glass coffee table, and a massive flat screen mounted on the wall. Everything is pristine, not a pillow out of place, not a single mark on the floor, not a hint of the man who's taking over my life and my sanity. Jude's silent, controlled strides are my only tether to reality. He removes his leather jacket and throws it on the chair. His t-shirt stretches across his back. Ink curls down his arms, the shadows animating the symbols and designs. He faces me and I stop dead, swaying in place, then look down. His boots come into view, and I jerk my head up, covering my mouth with my palm. I certainly don't want to give the prick a chance to kiss me again. His lips twitch, just the slightest bit as he flicks a glance to the sofa. Sit. No words, just a single motion. I hesitate, clutching my backpack tighter. Then my shoulders hunch and I sit, on the edge, still gripping the straps. Jude doesn't join me, just stands in front of me, looking like a wall. He's already tall when I'm upright, but at the moment, he's 10 times more intimidating. "Now what?" I ask, remembering to look at him. He doesn't reply, just continues to stare at me, his eyes slightly narrowed, as if he's trying to figure out what I'm thinking about. "You brought me here for a reason, right? If we can reach it soon, that would be great." Jude tilts his head to the side.
In a hurry to go back to your unremarkable life?
"Yes, actually. It might be unremarkable, but it's mine, and I'm happy with it.
Happy enough to write about how much you've thought about dying every other day?
My throat dries, the emotions getting clogged in there. You had no right to read my journal.
I think we've established that I don't give a fuck what you think.
Fine. I release a breath, feeling exhausted by just looking into his unfeeling eyes. Can you tell me why I'm here? I'm tired and could use some sleep before my early classes tomorrow, so if you don't mind... I start to stand up, but the look he gives me pins me in place. Finally, however, he turns around and flips on the TV.
Don't move.
Before I can ask what's going on, he pulls out his phone and sidesteps me. My eyes trail after him, but he disappears around the corner. Even with his absence, I don't feel relaxed, not in the least. If anything, my shoulders are crowded with tension as I stare at the screen. I'm not in the mood to watch TV. My lips fall open. The scene playing before me is familiar. The video is cut, set to vertical mode, showing only two people. A man and a woman I'll never forget for as long as I live. My breathing comes out in harsh pants as the man stabs the woman. Then he does it again, and again, and again. Her blood spills on the pavement, on her beautiful white and yellow sundress. Her blonde hair and her eyes turn lifeless. Bile gathers in my throat, and my heart nearly rips out of my chest, but I remain frozen. Just like the time I saw this same scene play out right before my eyes. And just like then, Mama's words play in my head like a mantra. Don't meddle, you little bitch. Do you think anyone would need the help of an ugly whore like you? Who do you think you are? Useless. Useless. Fucking useless. Tears stream down my cheeks, and my fingers twitch. My entire body trembling so hard I'm wheezing. That's when I hear it. A muffled moan of pain. A groan, a bang. It's not coming from the TV since there's no audio, and the woman, Susie Callahan, is lying in a puddle of her own blood, her empty eyes staring at nothing. No, the sounds are closer. Somewhere in the house. I consider leaving, maybe calling the police. But the police didn't save Susie when I called them that day. Ever since then, I've regretted my cowardice and the way I let Mama's voice freeze me in place. I'm paying for my silence by being assigned an angel of death in the form of Jude. So, I'll never be a bystander again. Standing on wobbly feet, I cast one last glance at Susie, then wipe my eyes as I try to find the source of the sounds. Muffled groans. No, they're screams, I think. My legs are still shaking as I go down the stairs, jumping a little when the lights switch on. Damn, I really hate basements. I've watched enough true crimes documentaries to know this is where the shit hits the fan. I pull out my phone, gripping it tighter as the volume of the sounds increases. I pass by an open door and stop. A large, blonde-haired man with bulging eyes is strapped to a chair in the middle of a sterile basement room. The walls are white, and there's a metal cabinet behind the chair. His mouth is covered by silver duct tape, and his shirt and pants are torn in places, blood oozing from his multiple injuries. The worst part is his bare feet, where dirt and leaves are stuck to the dried blood. He screams behind the duct tape, rocking back and forth in his chair upon seeing me. I rush to his side, my legs barely carrying me, and I try to slowly remove the tape. Are you okay?
Do I look okay, you stupid bitch? Untie me before that sick motherfucker comes back.
Oh, okay. I'm breathing harshly as I slide behind him and work on the tight knots. Who did this to you?
Who else? It's that motherfucking crazy asshole.
Jude?
I don't know his name. Stop talking and hurry the fuck up.
These are special knots. It's hard to undo them.
Useless, stupid bitch!
I release the rope. If you're going to call me names, I won't help you.
You... Just... Please, okay? I've been under a lot of stress with that fucker chasing me with his friends and then drugging me. I just want to go home, so help me out, yeah?
With a sigh, I work faster on the ropes. People can be really deranged when they're under a lot of stress, so I don't blame him. More importantly, I keep thinking about why Jude and his friends chased this man. As soon as his hands are undone, he helps me untie his feet. The moment he's free, he wobbles toward the exit, but a shadow appears at the door. Large, imposing, and holding a knife in his hand that shines under the light. I freeze, and so does the man.
Not so fast.
Jude looks at him with that familiar aloofness.
Fuck! Just let me go, you sick fucker! I can.
Jude's gaze slides from the man to me.
But only one of you gets to leave this place alive.
I take a step back. Please don't do that.
Her!
The man screams.
Kill that stupid bitch, not me!
I swallow, my heart shrinking. So much for helping him.
What do you think?
Jude asks me, tilting his head to the side.
Will you be a saint and sacrifice your life for this waste of space? You're into all that despicable business, so it might be tempting.
I look down, whispering, "Death doesn't scare me."
But I do scare you, and I already decided that you won't get the easy way out.
I gasp as Jude grabs the man who was trying to squeeze past him, turns him around, and looks me in the eye as he slices his throat open.
9.
Holy shit. Wow. God damn. That is a great place to stop. Why? Because it'll bring you back next week. Oh, man. We'll see what happens next week. Oh, shit. Whoo, that was a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, man. I know that I did. I will see you guys on Sunday for another lovely episode. We'll be obviously back with this book next week on Thursday. Love you guys all. I'll see you later. Peace.